But Tennessee came more prepared. They were the aggressor. They came out and shut down Kentucky's offense, opening blows, and a 17-7 game right out of the gates. They never looked back. Tennessee 78, Kentucky 65. Mike, your biggest takeaway from this performance by Rick Barnes' team was?
Tennessee looked the part. They looked the part tonight. They did. And this game was physical to start on both ends. But we've just seen Tennessee throughout the season be more well-equipped to play through physicality offensively. And Kentucky struggled with that tonight. I mean, Kentucky shot 40% from three tonight, and it didn't matter because they couldn't get enough up because there just wasn't enough airspace for those guys. So it was pretty amazing to see, all those guys for Tennessee and Rick Barnes, just the way I thought they manipulated the game as the game went on and attacking matchups and having a good blend of, hey, we're going to play in isolation here, but we're also going to use our floppy action with our down screens underneath the basket. We're going to, if you want to shortcut it, we're going to bump back and hit threes. And if we're going to curl it. And if you help, we're going to throw the lob. And I thought Kentucky struggled tonight with containing dribble penetration for Tennessee. I mean, Zakai Ziegler was living in the paint to start this game. And then it just, all these guys, Gainey, Lanier, all of them started to make their way into the paint. And when you can't contain the dribble, what ends up happening is now your bigs, Amari Williams, Brandon Garrison, these guys have to help uphill, meaning they have to help up towards the ball. And when they do that, now you got Akpara lobs towards the rim, or you got shots going up and guys that are uncontested for offensive rebounds. And so that was just kind of the bind that Kentucky, I thought, found themselves in all night. But just the mettle and the resolve that, like, to get up like Tennessee did early in this game and just kind of put it away, to be honest. Like, it just being there live, it didn't feel like Kentucky really had a chance to get back into this because the looks offensively were just few and far between. And I thought they did such a good job defensively changing up coverages. Hey, we're going to switch some of these. We're going to try to deny all these dribble handoffs and zoom actions that you have. And then, or we're going to keep our matchups in this, on this particular possession. They were just, or it's maybe personnel based. We're going to switch Owe and not let them get downhill and get in space. It was a clinic tonight for Tennessee on both ends. And again, this Houston-Tennessee matchup is going to be pretty damn high level.
Yeah, I thought that it was really telling that every single time it felt like there was an opportunity for Kentucky to be able to kind of grab a little bit of momentum and string together a couple of possessions in a row and start chipping away at the lead, that Tennessee just kind of treated it like, they were putting out a match, right? They were putting out a cigarette. They just stepped on it and squashed it and squished it, and it never had the opportunity to do it. It was there was one where Chaz they get a stop. There's a shot clock, almost a shot clock violation. Chaz Lanier throws up some like 30-footer that hits the backboard first and hits the side of the rim, and it happens to be Justin Gainey right there, like putting in a layup. Right. There was another one where there was an air ball, and it just so happened to fall into I think it was Akpara's hands who had a dunk afterwards. There was the breakout where it looked like Andrew Carr was going to get a wide open dunk, and Darlington Dubar, whatever his name is, Dubar, came out of nowhere and pinned it off the glass. It felt like there were 7 of those plays that every time Kentucky was starting to be able to fight their way back into the game, Tennessee just found a way to be able to squash it out. And when you run 23, 24, 25 seconds off the clock, and then you get those backbreakers, or you get the possessions where at the end of a clock, Justin Gainey is driving into the paint, and he comes to a jump stop, and he pivots, and he throws up like a fadeaway 12-footer, the worst shot in college basketball, and it happens to go in, and he hits 4 of them. Like that, those things are just absolute backbreakers. And I don't think Kentucky was ever able to quite recover from that. I also thought it was really smart what they did defensively, like blowing up all the ball screens, all the DHOs, all the zooms. They didn't let Kentucky do anything that they wanted to do. And they just kind of said, look, if you want Amari Williams to drive the rim, we're going to put Felix Akpara right there in front of it, and go ahead. We'll live with Amari Williams challenging Felix Akpara at the rim. That's what we want. Those are the shots we want.
Jeff, I want to tee you up on this because I don't think it's getting discussed nationally nearly enough. And you and I talked before the tournament started about this very storyline. Not just Tom Izzo, but here's Rick Barnes. who's not getting any younger. He's at the age of 70. He has been to one Final Four in his career. Based on the way that Tennessee played tonight, fellas, Mike, you just said they looked the part. Houston, again, looked like that team that has issues offensively in some of these down-to-the-wire tournament games and could be susceptible to dropping one of them, could have lost tonight. Jeff, when you think about what Sunday can mean for Barnes, for Tennessee basketball, who's never been to a Final Four, how do you put that into perspective?
I mean, it would be everything for Rick Barnes. And I'm not even sure, again, for Rick Barnes, it's validation for himself. But I think for a lot of other people it is, because he hasn't gotten there in so long. It was back in 2003 at Texas. Been an eternity ago, and he's had some great teams, whether it was at Texas or at Tennessee, that, you know, a lot of people kind of question maybe they should have gotten there to the Final Four, or certainly a lot further in the tournament. But I said it, guys, about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago. This Tennessee team, I think, goes to the Final Four. I really do. And I'm not sure they don't just go to the Final Four. I think this is a team that could win the whole damn thing. I think the pieces fit together. I love their backcourt. Chaslin, they've got three guards. I mean, that's the beauty right now, is you've got Zakai Ziegler, who's about as seasoned as any guard, any point guard in the country, and about as good of a two-way point guard as there is in the entire country. I think Chaz Lanier, we see what he can do and how quickly he can heat up. And he's a big, two guard with some size that can create his own shot. And to me, Jordan Gainey's been the biggest difference maker for them, because he can shoot it from deep. He can put it on the floor. Again, Milicic is to me the X factor. He's the one that can take him over the top. But Rob, I've been all in on this team for a couple weeks now. I've been trying to tell you they're going to take down Houston. They're going to take down Houston on Sunday. I don't want you to be all in, because I'm afraid if you go all in, you're going to jinx this team like you have in the past.
I've got bad news, Jeff. I've got really bad news for you.
Don't do it. Don't do it, please.
I'm on the bandwagon, man. Like that was shit. That was really, really impressive. And I thought Zakai Ziegler was really, really impressive. And the shot making was really, really and they completely obliterated a Kentucky team that is a good rebounding team on the glass, right? Like Kentucky's got big bodies. They completely obliterated them. And
Rob, how would